I guess the takeaways for you, like what are the things, if in order for like good vermicomposting, like what are the key takeaways that people need to realize, I guess?
Yeah, creating the right environment. So I'll use a Rubbermaid tote as a guide, but any container will do. They need, just like outdoor composting, they need a carbon nitrogen mix. So the carbon indoor is shredded paper, could be leaves, straw, cardboard, drink trays, egg cartons, any kind of material like that. I would leave out magazine paper, or magazines, and like construction paper that get when
Okay.
the color comes out when it
Yeah.
gets wet. So that's your bedding, but the worms eat that as well. About a liter of soil, so just a little shovel of soil, and shovel from somewhere outside where no chemicals have been applied. You don't want potting soil or something that came in a bag because it's sterilized. You're adding the soil because the worms don't have teeth and there's microorganisms in the soil.
There's microbes. Yeah.
So that helps to break, it's all a whole beautiful ecosystem. You want to build up the microbes, the biology, and then they do the work. They're the heavy, the worms are the cleanup crew. All the microbes are, it's a beautiful system. Water and eggshells, that's it for your bedding. And then you add your worms in, and they're special worms. There are 4 types of worms that have been identified: red wigglers, European night crawlers, African night crawlers, and perionyx, which is a tropical worm.
Okay.
I'm sure there's others. We're looking for surface dwellers. So the Canadian nightcrawler, when it lives below the frost line, so it goes up and down, and it doesn't eat nitrogen. So it wouldn't live in a container, and it wouldn't eat the food scraps. It would be trying to get out all the time. It would be like, how do I get out?
Yeah.
I'm stressed, and then it would just become part of the system.
So what do they feed on then?
So they eat leaves and the stuff in the garden, like they eat the stuff from the garden. And then you add your food scrap, water. Did I say water? Mix it all up, add your worms, and then when you're feeding your food scraps, bury it in the bedding. That's what I didn't do when I had the fruit flies, right? I just threw the stuff in. So fruit flies, I would love to address that. They're not a necessary component. And, when people go, I don't want to have fruit flies, it's like, okay, have you ever had fruit flies? And they say yes. And I say, okay, good. Have you ever had a worm bin? No. Okay, good. So you know that the fruit flies don't come from the worm bin because you've never had one. Okay. All right. First lesson, right? Because we think, oh my gosh. No. So I'm going to use bananas. When you bring the bananas home from the grocery store, they're yellow or green. As they start to get speckled and ripen, that's the perfect environment for the fruit fly eggs to hatch and fly around and bug us. And the fruit flies are on all the fruit. Just we wash the cherries or the apples or the pears and then eat it. Or we don't, but we eat it. So we peel the banana, and then they're still intact. So I suggest giving a quick rinse, washing off the fruit fly eggs. And if you get a container to allow your scraps to start to decompose, it's going to speed up the process. Because the worms don't have teeth, right? You can add your fresh stuff, but it's just going to take longer for it to get cooking.
Yeah. The washing of bananas is something we started to do more recently. We found that it really does control the fruit flies quite a bit. So as soon as we bring it from the store, we'll separate each of the bananas off the stem or whatever, and then we'll wash them all off. And then we found that really controls the fruit flies quite a bit.
Yeah, oranges too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they say like citrus not a good thing for worms. They don't really like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, orange peels because they often have fruit flies, but yeah. So yeah, I would say, you can put all your fruit and veg, coffee, tea, pasta, rice, beans, plant clippings, but you leave out citrus, onion, and garlic. And citrus, there's a toxic element in citrus that is antibacterial, antimicrobial. It's anti. So if it's anti, we want pro. We want the biotic stuff. So if it's anti, it's going to be killing your bacteria. So I don't even add. And they make there's a orange citrus cleaner you can get, like chemical cleaner that has citrus essence in it. So I would say leave the citrus out of even your backyard composter.